Yeah, so coming from the schools, being at Berkeley, the music school, and then out in Colorado at Naropa University, which is more of a Buddhist inspired school where I was able to study some religious kind of practices and spiritual practices out there.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom. Yeah, my question is, yeah, so even when I was at those schools, I was like attracted to what was going on here. I saw that it was, a genuine, teacher that was staying true to his, word and music and function. And my question is, why aren't more people around here? Why haven't more people being brought to the teacher?
I don't want anybody here. Maybe my desire has something to do with it. Right? I like peace and quiet. In the earlier part of my life cycle, I enjoyed movements, groups. And that was a step on the path. So the movement level, the community level is a step on the path. It's not the end. For some it might be, as far as they can go. So, but there are those who also see that, well, you are the beginning and the end already. Each one is that. So what else is there if you become your own beginning and end? So, well, you had other questions about others.
Yeah, so then, somebody like Rakalam, what was his lead up to maybe meeting you or, being, more in contact with you? Was he a studier of different practices? I know definitely he was involved in the music, and he, has played with pretty much, everybody, every jazz musician out there, especially guitar players. So he had that, and it seems like that would
seem to be his candy. And horn players.
Right.
Cake and ice cream. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it seems that I think he comes from scholars. And so he's very aware. I know he knows of the various traditions. But to what degree he felt obligated to any of the traditions, I'm not sure exactly. But he heard religion in what I'm playing. He heard a lot in what I'm playing. He heard music in what I'm playing. He heard, in his own way, Coltrane in what I'm playing. Right? Because I remember when I was with Rashid would say, Bobby. Bobby? Bobby? Oh yeah, Bob. Moses. Rakalam. He knew we were together. He said, yeah, he'd be there with me in train, man, when we'd be playing. He'd be checking us out. In other words, Rakalam was bugging him, hanging with the cats. And but that was impressive for Rashid. Right? It wasn't like the clubs are full of kids, right? And so Rakalam had the karma of being where he needed to be at the right time for him. And that was with Rashid and Coltrane and then here. And so you'd have to ask him exactly for what he feels the continuum is. But there is a continuum. I did work with Farah. I did work with, Rashid and the Cats. I did play with them. I played with Elvin. I played with McCoy. I did a gig with McCoy. And I'm not saying he liked it, but, I did. I definitely enjoyed it. So there's a thing that he found that he was working with that he's guided by, and he wound up here. I won't say this is his last stop, but I think this has been a great foundation for his training as time passes and he moves on, or I pass over, and he continues. He's gained a lot here. So he's made this his center of wisdom and understanding because of what he hears, not only from the music I play, but from what I say. Yeah. So this is complete for him. For others, no, it's just a little drop in the bucket. For others, it's the end. It's the end point for them. They have to realize their ending and their beginning here in place, like on the spot. See? Not over some imaginary extension of time to an imaginary other world, so to speak. It's now, all of it now. Mm.
So then it seems,
And he's read all the books. So he's had a very broad, let's say, philosophic and spiritual wisdom understanding because of the background I've given him through my teachings and writings. And then that's music. That's actually music. See, the teachings are music. See, if you know how to hear the teachings, it's musical. The wisdom is musical, just as the playing of the music is also philosophical and transcendent, if you know how to hear it. See, a little bit of this is in a little bit of that already. See, nirvana and samsara are not different, right? And they're also not the same.
So then it seems like maybe, at least for myself, I've kind of felt like, maybe there's some kind of, exhaustion of checking out other things even before, getting here, and just feeling a more, deeper connection to what's going on here, all the, because everything else to me is like kind of, mental, and maybe studying, at Naropa started to bring me, a little down, maybe center a little bit more, and then to
very
the point
possibly,
where I was able to come here.
Yeah, possibly more attuned to practice and what you need in terms of practice. And what as a teacher you need to hear that applies and pertains to you directly. And maybe that's a starting, but it wasn't personal enough or direct enough to make you feel you were really being, let's say, related to in a certain way. Except, in terms of the tradition that they were representing over there. But this here is all about you. There's no tradition. You are the tradition here. So you're the tradition you're here to realize. See? And I call it a process of life mastery. So people come here to learn how to master, not so much by what I tell them to do, but what they see me doing. It's watch and know for yourself. And what it is, a detachment from all the extraneous, right? Just focus. I mean, if there was such a thing as genius, then that's something for us to do. Focus. Be extremely attentive to what the impulse is in us, which is to create. And don't abandon it. Don't be anti-genius, as I was saying at the last series. So don't go against yourself. I'm not saying build self either, because this is not about the ego. This is about the focus on what is called the soul, the inner radiance of peace, wisdom, and happiness already. See? That's simple. That's essential. It's also true. Just look. See and know for yourself. Hear it.